Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where once again we're going to be diving into Paranormasight 2, The Mermaid's Curse. Let us begin. We are starting to get into the meat of it now, I think, so let's just zoom out. So we are, which is a bit where Avi and Circe killed Kikoku, or at least it's heavily implied that they did via the Forgotten Fish Curse, which meant that they survived, and they just met Yumiko and Sodo, didn't they? So I think we're going to go into Obsession. It looks like there's stuff still to do in Possessions, but I wonder if that's to do with maybe accepting the mirror that Kikoku offered and then getting to that battle slightly earlier, maybe with a slightly different outcome. Not entirely sure. But we're going to press on into Obsession, I think. So this is in Yumiko's timeline. Yumiko believes the key to dispelling the curse of the raging waves lies in the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Did I say Forgotten Fish? Forsaken Fish Curse Day. She arrives in Kamishima to trace the steps of the true foreigners, who, as we know, are Avi and Circe. I see. So you would be Mrs. Shiki, and you say you're a member of the police department, currently looking after Circe. My apologies for all the trouble young Circe caused you the other day. She's quite the mischievous little lady, I'm afraid. Oh, not at all. She certainly has some pluck for one so young. Took us quite by surprise, in fact. You would be Circe's guardian, then? Oh, no. We're related, to be sure, but she's really more my guide come bodyguard, if anything. I see. Since when was I your bodyguard as well? I'm afraid that circumstances dictate that we have to take Circe back to Tokyo with us, though. Is that so? Well, that would be quite the bother. Personally, I'd rather avoid having to do so as, well, there's a case here that needs our urgent attention, you see. So I'd appreciate it if you cooperated without any fuss. Ah, that would depend on what you ask, I'm afraid. Alright, so we're at the shrine again. I'm just going to have a quick look around for mockingboids. Quite sneaky. See him here. Look at the surroundings. We currently stand in front of the torii at the top of the hill. The elevation gives us a beautiful view both of the town and the bay. People were starting to gather at the jetty, so we decided to move our conversation here. Right. Let's look at our vision ability. What do they look like? Oh, hello. Hello, it's a mockingboid. Well done, Yumiko, with your spirit sight. I see you there, Mr. Toiki. Let's have a think. I'm glad we found these two so quickly. Having Sodo track down their spiritual energy was the right call. Our foremost priority is to find the curse stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish, so we can learn how to lift the curse of the raging waves. And from everything we've learned so far, it's most likely in possession of these two foreigners. Sodo mentioned that when we arrived on Kamishima that the energy from the curse of the raging waves has grown so much stronger since we were last here. As such, everything else is on the back burner now until we've dealt with it. We need to find out how to lift it as soon as possible. Let's look at it. Circe is currently meant to be in the care of paranormal affairs, but has been shirking her training to travel around the country instead. She's very talented for one so young, and has a lot of guts, too. I can't help but root for people like her. More than anything, I know how they feel. I'd like to leave her be, if possible. This man, Avi, is apparently a fantasy writer, but he comes across as quite the shifty sort. No doubt he'll start trying to throw us off his trail the moment he senses danger. I'll have to watch my step around. Let's talk to Arno first. What were you doing down at the jetty just now? Oh, so you didn't see anything that happened before that, then? Would it be inconvenient for you if we had? Nonsense, my hands are as clean as my conscience, not a spot in sight, I assure you. Never mind that now, we don't have the time. There are several things we want to ask you. Oh, and what would those be? You currently have the curse stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish, don't you? What's that, curse stone? I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest idea what you're all about. This is far more trouble than it's worth. I'll just ask Sodo to take a look. First, I think we should talk about the incident this morning. Miss Somakawa was discovered washed up on the Futamigura coast as a corpse, with half her body having been turned into a fish. Well, I'll be to think she would meet such a fate. Truly sorry to hear that. This wouldn't be your doing, would it? We have eyewitness reports that you were seen 2 days ago heading out to sea with Miss Somakawa by boat.
Ah, well, we did indeed head out into the bay for a little chat, but turning into a fish? Not in a million years.
What did you discuss with Miss Somakawa then?
Why, what else? Mermaids, of course.
Mermaids?
Indeed, Circe and I are here in Isashima on a grand adventure to find mermaids. And we just happened to find out that Miss Somakawa was a member of a clan with a strong relation to them. Of course she would catch our interest.
I see, so you knew that Miss Somakawa was a descendant of the sole survivor of Taishima.
Oh, so you knew that too, huh? I suppose I should expect nothing less of a member of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the mermaids of Taishima as well, would you?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Did you learn what you wanted from Miss Somakawa then?
Oh yes, we got quite the haul of lucrative information out of her. Knowledge that one of the Taishima mermaids lived hidden in the depths of Issa Bay until a scant few months ago, for one.
What?
Oh, that caught your interest, did it?
I see. She must have been able to go back to Ryugu when the seal broke 3 months ago.
So you even know about Ryugu? You seem quite well versed in these matters, Mrs. Shiki.
Well, maybe just a bit. So, now that you know there are no longer any mermaids to be found here, have you given up looking for them?
Hardly. There should be one more mermaid out there somewhere. We're here today to see if we can't glean some hint as to her whereabouts, in fact.
I see. You know what Miss Somakawa did after you finished your talk?
No, why would I? Parted ways immediately after we got back to the shore. Never the foggiest what happened to her after that.
Where did you learn that Miss Somakawa had a link to mermaids?
I'm very sorry, but it's against my policy to reveal the identity of my informants.
Is that so? By the way, Circe, I was told to tell you to return to Tokyo at once if I saw you.
What? I don't want to.
I thought you'd say that. Well, I was only asked to tell you, no more, no less. What you choose to do with the message is up to you.
Thanks, I think.
Soda, what do you make of these two?
I sense an ominous spiritual energy lingering around them. It's all but certain that they have curse stones.
I see. Well, we don't have time to play games then. It seems like a direct approach will be best here. Wait, you mean both of them have curse stones?
Yes, both of them. The girl is managing to camouflage the energy from the one she has, but I managed to get sight of it for a moment.
So we're dealing with 2 curse stones, are we?
Should we put the
song? Can we see the... No, I guess not. It's no use trying to play innocent. We know you have the curse stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish.
You are persistent, aren't you? Well, my answer hasn't changed. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean.
Avi, they already know. Just give up already.
Was this stabbed in the back by my own kin, no less? How could you?
Its spiritual energy is too powerful to hide. I can tell that man over there has already noticed it.
Thank you for the help. You saved us quite a bit of trouble just now.
Does that mean you let us go?
I'm afraid we won't be able to just yet, no. After all, you have a curse stone as well, don't you?
Oh! Ah, yeah, I do. We ran into someone who was trying to use it earlier, so I took it off them.
Is that so?
Honestly, I'd rather you took it off my hands if possible.
You don't seem to be planning to do any harm with it. I suppose we can leave that topic for later. So why are you letting Avi over here walk around with the curse of the Forsaken Fish?
To let him live out his dreams, I suppose.
I'm afraid that makes for a poor reason.
All right, I admit it. It was all me. I didn't want to give it up, so I asked Circe if I could hold on to it. I just couldn't let it go, after learning it had such a close link to mermaids.
I see, so that is the curse stone, the curse of the Forsaken Fish.
How did you come into possession of that curse stone?
Well, that would be a long story.
It all started when I found a mermaid mummy left by my great-grandmother in the old family storage back in the States. The mermaid mummy ended up containing a map, one with a riddle to be solved, no less. That riddle led us to a mysterious box on the seabed. And once we'd solved the puzzle, sealing the box shut, we found this curse stone nestled within. Oh, a mermaid mummy, you say?
It seems that the keepsake passed down by your ancestor was indeed a curse stone.
Huh?
By the by, I thought I heard you say something about the Onmyoji who sealed away this curse stone just now. Am I correct in thinking that they were the ancestor of this young man here?
That's right. He was an onmyoji by the name of Harukagi Tsushimikado. It is said that he hid a clue to the lifting of a certain curse within a mermaid mummy, hence our search for the object in question.
I see. And that mermaid mummy ended up crossing the Pacific, passing from hand to hand until it reached my great-grandmother.
Oh, it's quite the miracle this curse stone is here with us today. Almost romantic, don't you think?
I suppose you could say that, yes. It's quite the... Oh. Okay. Now, putting your return to Tokyo aside, the biggest issue at hand is whether or not you were complicit in his use of the curse stone. Curse stones are dangerous things. They should be viewed in the same light as bombs or poison gas, and treated with the same amount of care. Allowing one to be used in your presence is also naturally forbidden. You're currently in the care of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. If you're found to be guilty of misconduct, you'll be subject to punishment under our rules. Now that figures, yeah. I'm glad you understand. Either way, it's the higher-ups who will end up taking responsibility, so I'm happy to leave things there up to them. There's no doubt that Miss Somikawa was transfigured into a fish by the curse of the Forsaken Fish. It is looking extremely likely that you have the curse stone that would make that possible. No more excuses. Tell us what really happened.
Yeah. All right, you've got me. I'll talk, though don't blame me if the tale ends up being too incredible for your ears.
I see. It would seem that Miss Somikawa had quite the twisted obsession with mermaids, and you sought to grant her wish by using the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Is that right?
Correct. I know exactly how it feels, you see. Burning desire to see your dreams realized, and the overwhelming despair upon learning that they can never be. A desperate hope to see even the slightest part of your wish fulfilled at the end. Perhaps that's why I couldn't ignore her wish. The wish to meet her end at the hands of a mermaid's curse. Hearing Miss Somikawa's fervent plea, and seeing her cast herself into the water like that, I knew this was the ending she wanted for her tale, and so I decided to grant it. An elegy for a woman bound by her lineage and consumed by her passion. Obsession.
I see. Well, I understand where you're coming from, and I can't say I don't sympathize with your feelings on the matter. The fact that she entered the water of her own accord must also be taken into account. I imagine it would have made rescuing her quite difficult.
Oh, then you're willing to give me a pass, are you?
I'm afraid that isn't my decision to make.
Oh.
Once we finished our business on Kamishima, I imagine you'll have to come along with us to the office back in Tokyo. I'll do my best to see if there's some sort of arrangement can be reached, though.
Oh, how good of you. How kind of you. Good thing I thought to ask.
Thank you for telling us what happened with Miss Somikawa. As of now, I don't see any reason to doubt your version of events.
My thanks. I leave the negotiating up to you, then. By the way, did you happen to glimpse the resentful memories contained within that curse stone? I did indeed. A veritable deluge of information, and 400-year-old information at that. Was the way to lift the curse of the raging waves included in that information? It certainly was. Dun dun dun.
Ah, that's it. That's what we've been looking for.
I see. So you're searching for a way to lift some curse or other, eh?
That's the long and the short of it. Will you let us have that curse stone of yours, then? It's too dangerous to leave unaddressed as it is, so we can't leave it with you either way.
But that just feels so unfair, you know? I was the one who found the map and solved the riddle. Why, the curse stone would still be at the bottom of the sea if it wasn't for me.
Ah,
it has hardly been cheap, running back and forth like this. I don't know if I could just give you something so important for nothing in return.
Looking to take advantage of the situation, are we? Yikes.
Ha! Judge me all you want. I'm at the end of my rope here too, you know.
So, what is it you're after, then? Money?
Well, first of all, I'd like you to turn a blind eye to the fact I used a curse stone. And I'd like you to spill the beans on any knowledge you have on mermaids as well.
Turning a blind eye might be a bit much, I'm afraid. Well, I can promise there is an attempt to reach some sort of deal. In any case, we don't have time to mess around. I really would appreciate it if you cooperated without any further fuss. If you don't, we may end up having to get a bit rough.
Oh, intimidation is it? If you think your boorish threats scare me, think again. My trusty bodyguard here will...
Sorry, but no, I don't feel well. We're at a disadvantage here anyway.
Oh, before it even began.
A wise decision, young lady.
So that's your game, is it? Abusing your authority to seize the property of a defenseless, powerless civilian? State violence, I say.
Ugh. You do have a curse stone, though. I doubt anyone would object to the use of force against an opponent carrying a lethal weapon.
What? Seriously? This is really the end of the line, then.
Well, if it's really just information on mermaids you want, I'm not opposed to telling you that much. Only within the bounds of what I know, though. Would that be acceptable?
You mean it? Really? Huzzah! Now that's an offer I can't refuse. Consider the deal done and dusted. Ma'am.
It's best if we can get things settled without a fuss. Besides, I don't think it should be a problem now. I'll tell you what you want to know about mermaids. In exchange, you'll hand over your curse stone. Do we have a deal?
We do indeed.
So, what is it you want to know about mermaids, then? Though I'd wager you're after the secret of immortality.
Immortality? Oh no, all I want is to meet a real live mermaid. It is naught but dreams and adventure that drive me.
Really? That's it? Well, even if you had been after immortality, I doubt it would have been possible.
What? You mean the legends about mermaids being able to grant immortality are false?
Well, they're not. I've encountered my fair share of people who've become immortal that way, after all. There's even a word for these individuals. They're known as 800-year immortals.
800-year immortals, eh? So they do exist. Incredible! What became of the third Taishima mermaid, then? The one known as Nagame? She hasn't returned to Ryugu, has she?
She hasn't. Sobe is the only mermaid who returned to Ryugu in the end.
Oh, so she's still out there somewhere, roaming the mortal world as we speak.
Yes, you could say that, but you could also say that she's no longer here.
What do you mean? Don't tell me she died?
Well, that also wouldn't be entirely accurate. Oh, it's her, isn't it? It's got to be her.
What is it, Cersei?
I think I've got it. Figured it out, have you?
What, really? What do you mean?
Think back on what we heard before.
Before?
Well, there's not much point in dragging it out, so I'll go ahead and tell you. The mermaid known as Nagame. Nagame gave up her existence as a mermaid long ago. She no longer lives as a mermaid, but as a human.
Ah, now that you mention it, that does sound familiar. You mean to tell me that story was true?
Oh, you've heard of these events before? I suppose Mrs. Somakawa must have heard about it from Sobe. But could a mermaid really have become human? Mermaids are originally from another world, right? Normally it would be unthinkable, yes. But it seems a certain talented psychic managed to make the impossible happen, at no small cost to himself, I might add. Wow, that's amazing!
Ooh. I can't say I understand why she would do such a thing, though. Why not remain a mermaid? It seems like a bit of a waste to me.
Well, Nagame was a bit different from the other two mermaids, you see. They were serious and dutiful, but Nagame was strongly drawn to the mortal world and to the humans who live in it. I suppose you could say that she was the opposite of Miss Somakawa in a way.
You don't say.
More than anything, it seems she was particularly drawn to the idea of becoming human, finding the person of her dreams and marrying them, of getting to be their bride. That's a pretty cute dream to have. I guess not all the mermaids are the same, huh?
Indeed, to think that mermaids could harbour the same hopes and dreams as humans do. I must say, that sounds quite relatable.
Perhaps. I imagine she was viewed as quite the odd soul among her own kind, though. Then, a few decades ago, Nagame happened to meet a certain psychic. The two soon fell in love. And Nagame, who wanted more than anything else to become that man's wife, asked him if there was any way she could become human. The psychic searched far and wide for a way to grant her wish, and after decades of toil, he found a secret that would allow her to do so.
Oh, such unconditional love, such ardent devotion. A mermaid who wished to become human to be with the love of her life. Why, it's like the tale of the little mermaid reborn in the modern era. Truly a story to grip the heart. How could I not root for them with everything I have?
Are you sure? That would mean we don't have a mermaid to look for anymore, you know.
No matter, if it was the sake of such inspiring passion, then I care not a whit. So Nagame became human in the end, yes? And the two of them lived happily ever after? I refuse to accept any other conclusion.
Well, that's more or less what happened. So I can say with certainty that Nagame the mermaid no longer exists.
I see, so she's out there as a human. What beautiful tale. Why, I wish I could meet her solely to offer my most heartfelt congratulations. No, I think wedding gifts are in order.
Avi seems to be enjoying himself. This means there's no chance of us meeting a mermaid anymore, right?
Ah, now that you mention it, that is a problem.
I thought so.
A question, Mrs. Shiki. I don't suppose there would be a way for us to go to Ryugu and meet a mermaid there, would there?
I'm afraid not. It's impossible for a flesh and blood human to cross over to the eternal world. Indeed, you'd have to be dead to have any chance of getting there.
Ah, just as I feared. There's little point in getting there without a life to savour it. Although, does that mean there's a chance that Miss Somakawa was able to make it to Ryugu in the end?
That I don't know. Not everyone ends up in Ryugu after death, after all.
I see. I suppose we'll just have to hope that she was able to meet the mermaids she so admired in the afterlife.
It's her. She's Nagami, obviously.
And that would be all I can tell you there. Are you willing to give us your curse stone now?
Well, knowing that we have no chance of meeting a mermaid now has thoroughly dashed all my hopes and dreams. But you did share with us a most charming tale of mermaid love and longing, so I suppose I can't complain. Here, curse stone.
Thank you. Sodo, could you take a look at it for me?
Very well. I see. If you don't mind, there are a few details I'd like to confirm with you before continuing, Avi. Very well, go ahead and ask anything you like. I'll even give you the map we used. It originally belonged to you and yours, after all. Thank you. Well, in that case... I see. I think I know how to lift the curse of the raging waves now.
Finally. It certainly has been a long road to get here.
It's the two mirrors. It's got to be the pair of mirrors, right? Talk to Sodo.
Ma'am, about the curse of the raging waves.
Hold on, let's finish dealing with this first. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Understood.
Still, you certainly are knowledgeable about mermaids. Where on earth did you get all this information from?
Well, let's just say, I have my sources.
Well, I suppose we could put this down to the vast knowledge of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau as well, hey?
He hasn't realised yet.
What do you mean?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Still secret, but it's her, isn't it? Does it say it at the bottom of her, Oh, something about Nagami there. Here we go. Ah, the psychic, yeah. Yumiko was formerly a mermaid by the name of Nagami. Unlike her more serious compatriots, Hayase and Sobei, Nagami was free-spirited by nature, and held a keen interest in both humans and the mortal world. She was even known to break the rules to sneak out and observe human society, something which often put her at odds with the other two mermaids, and led to her being viewed as something of a maverick. So she's basically Ariel, isn't she? When the entrance to Ryugu was sealed 400 years ago to suppress the curse of the raging waves, rendering the remaining mermaids unable to return home, Sobei was overcome by grief. However, Nagami was thrilled and seized the opportunity to travel the world at her leisure, which deepened the rift between her and Sobei. For the next 350 years, Nagami bore witness to the lives of countless humans around the globe, from every culture and era, and her yearning for life in human society continued to grow. She was particularly enamored by the concepts of marriage and becoming a bride, finding the idea of pledging one's life to someone and living hand in hand with them from then on enthralling. It was this she found herself longing for above all else. About 50 years ago, Nagami met a certain talented psychic in Japan. The two quickly fell in love, and Nagami, who by that point had begun to earnestly wish that she could give up being a mermaid and live among humans in the mortal world, asked him whether there was any way she could become human. Wanting to fulfill her wish, the psychic began to search for a lost secret art that would allow her to assume human form. The two overcame countless hardships together in their quest for the art, and after decades of searching, they not only found it, but finally succeeded in perfecting it. However, the secret art that would grant Nagami her wish demanded a heavy price. For a mermaid, a being who lacked a mortal form in the material world, to gain a human body, the caster's own body would have to be sacrificed. Using this art would render them unable to live side by side as humans as they had so long to do. Oh. The two agonized over their decision. Despite their decades-long search, the different worlds in which they lived continued to keep them apart. As a mermaid, Nagami could neither join him on land nor appear before others. The life together they yearned for remained a distant dream. In the end, the two chose to use the secret art so they could be together in the mortal world. Even when Nagami learned that the psychic, Tensei Shiki, only appeared young due to his supernatural abilities, having been born in the Edo period and already over 100 years old by that time, she loved him no less. Thus did Nagami the mermaid become Tensei Shiki's human wife, Yumiko Shiki, a name given to her by Tensei himself. Although the process of gaining a human body meant she lost many of the memories and abilities she had possessed during her time as a mermaid, she retained all the memories and feelings from her time spent with Tensei, which was more than enough for Yumiko. Since then, Yumiko has enjoyed a fulfilling life with her human nature and her relationship with Itensai, bringing her immense joy. And because of this, she is insistent that her primary identity to be that of a housewife, to the extent that she always chooses clothing that will allow her to return to tackling housework at a moment's notice. However, the human body she has gained still differs from those of regular humans. Although she appears to age slowly compared to those around her, it is entirely unknown how long her lifespan will end up being. Following her rebirth as a human, Yumiko decided to pay a visit to Sobai in the depths of Issa Bay, to explain her decision and introduce her partner. Abandoning her form as a mermaid to become human was a grave violation of the rules they were bound to, and she expected Sobai to receive the news with utter contempt, if not sever her ties with Yumiko completely. But her expectations were pleasantly subverted. Sobai herself had since forged her own deep bond of love and trust with Mare Minakuchi, one that similarly transcended their respective species and understood her feelings, thanking her for introducing Itensai to her. However, Sobai never showed herself to Yumiko again after that. Almost there. After many twists and turns in their quest for happiness, the spirit of Itensai Shiki, who sacrificed his body so that Yumiko could live as a human, has come to dwell in the body of a small dog, and he continues to enjoy retirement and a quiet life at Yumiko's side in his home in Tokyo to this day. Oh my goodness. I get that to the end, burying the lead. Even before his retirement, and despite his current form, he remained an active force in the industry, having devoted his time to such things as taking Sodo Kiryu on as protege after discovering his potential, assisting with management of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau for old time's sake, and sending Yumiko, who knew of the Bureau and the work it did, to help out as one of its members. So there we go. Yumiko is Ariel, and Prince Eric is now a small dog. Of course. Alright, what else have we got?
Phew, we've finally gotten hold of the Forsaken Fish Curse Stone. Now we can focus on the main issue at hand. Let's move on to the topic of Circe's Curse Stone, shall we? Alright, well here it is. One of the locals we ran into earlier was planning to use this curse stone to cause a massacre, so we confiscated it. Goodness, that's far more disturbing than I was imagining. It sounds like you were lucky to escape unscathed. Where is this local now?
Well, I'm afraid she managed to slip away after we took her curse stone. I imagine she's fled the island by this point.
I see. Well, I suppose you won't be able to get up to any mischief without the curse stone, at least. So, who was this would-be mass murderer, and what exactly was she planning to do? She said her name was Kikuko Tsutsui. She didn't have any spirit sense to speak of, though. She tried to use her curse stone to get Avi to tell her what she knew about mermaids, but we managed to fend her off and take it from her.
That's right, she had hand mirrors and business cards marked with a symbol that serves as the target for the curse. And she handed them out around the island in advance for whenever she needed to activate it.
A premeditated crime, in other words, and quite a thorough one, too. It was quite a dangerous position you were in.
I'll say, if we hadn't caught on to her intentions, I've no doubt we'd be sleeping with the fishes by now. Such is the nature of dealing with curses, I'm afraid. You never know when you might end up the target. No need to tell me twice. I've had quite enough of curses by this point. A prudent attitude. A curse's corruption starts from the heart. Indeed, well, I'll be sure to remember that.
Did you learn what this Kikuko was after in the end?
To be honest, I wasn't all that sure myself. Apparently she was looking to get her hands on a mermaid to impress some tycoon called a Yamashina. Seems he's looking for a way to become immortal.
What? A tycoon called Yamashina who wants to become immortal?
It couldn't be. Oh, you know him?
Did she mention where she got the curse stone from? Could Yamashina have given it to her?
Actually, it seems like that was someone else. As Kikuko would tell it, she's Yamashina's illegitimate child, but he refused to acknowledge her. While she was pondering ways to gain his approval, this young CEO, his apprentice, swooped in. He offered her a sympathetic ear, a curse stone to accomplish her goal. I think that was the long and the short of it.
Something like that, yeah. What, so there's someone else involved? It turns out that we knew the CEO she was talking about too. We were pretty shocked. So the CEO was the original owner of the curse stone, was he? What was his name?
He's a young man named Kippei Akuma, although I dare say young isn't the first word that would come to mind when looking at him. What?
Kippei Akuma? It can't be. Huh, you know him too?
No, perhaps they simply share a name. The Kippei Akuma we know should have died 6 years ago. Huh? Died? What do you mean?
Would you mind taking a look at this, Avi?
A portrait sketch? And who might this be?
The Kippy Akoma you know wouldn't happen to look like this, would he?
Kippy Akoma? Oh no, but he doesn't look like that at all.
Yeah, this isn't him. I see. Could you give us the curse stone you have, Cersei? Ah, sure. Here you go. Soda, would you mind taking a look at this one, too?
Of course. This is the curse of Tomoshiga, and it has the power to cleave its target in two. Ma'am, this is it, the curse from the Toba case.
I thought so.
What's gotten everyone so excited all of a sudden?
Right, well I suppose we should explain. The name of the man in the sketch I just showed you is Kippy Akoma. He was killed 6 years ago, and his skeletal remains were recently found in Toba. The cause of his death was a curse, one that kills its victims by slicing through them, bone and all. In other words, it's highly likely he was killed by the curse within this curse stone, the curse of Tomoshiga. Huh? Wait, but wouldn't that mean...
Telling me that this Kippy Akoma was killed 6 years ago by a curse wielded by Kippy Akoma?
Yes, in other words... Yeah, imposter. The Kippy Akoma you know, the company president, is a different man. He used his curse to kill the real one 6 years ago and assumed his identity.
What? You're telling me he isn't the real Akoma?
I see, so that's how it is?
In that case, just who is the man calling himself Kippy Akoma now? I can't say, but it seems like he's quite the dangerous fellow. Good thing we managed to take his curse stone, I'll say.
Yeah, at the very least we shouldn't have to worry about him using his curse anymore. By the way, I believe you said that this Akoma is Yoshiatsu Yamashina's apprentice.
If that's the case, that Yamashina had someone working for him who had a curse stone, could Yamashina have been pulling the strings from behind the scenes?
It's possible. We should get in touch with Detective Ida and see if he can't take Yamashina in for questioning. With any luck, he'll be able to detain Akoma as well. Ah. Is something wrong? Well, we kind of already told Akoma about the Forsaken Fish curse stone.
He did help us out earlier after all, it only felt fair.
I suppose we can assume that that information has reached Yamashina as well, then. Alright, well he also asked us to look for a bronze mirror that's used to lift the curse of the raging waves. The still-tide mirror, I think. The still-tide mirror, hey? Just what could he be planning? Either way, it seems we'll have to keep an eye out for any movement on his end. Ah yes, we were hoping you could do us a little favour, Cersei. It seems you don't have a mermaid to be searching for anymore, so perhaps you could use that extra time to help us out. What do you think, Avi?
Very well, permission granted.
How kind of you. There's nothing strenuous, I assure you. We just want you to find out Kippy Akoma's current whereabouts, that's all. Oh, so just an ordinary chore, then? We want to focus on getting the curse of the raging waves lifted as soon as possible, you see. It would be a huge help if you could pin him down in the meantime. He's definitely up to something, and most importantly, you know what he looks like. We'll ask a detective from the Mia police to look into things there too, but one can never be too cautious.
Both his true identity and goal remain unclear. We may be very careful when dealing with him.
I guess that means we'll have to go back to the mainland for now.
Well, we do have some time left before the last ferry is set to sail, I suppose.
Okay then. I do want to find out what's going on too, so we'll see what we can do there.
It seems we'll be helping you out with your work then. In that case, please do consider putting in a word on my behalf.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Boom?
Oh, I thought we'd go to the story tree thing. Chapter screen.
We appreciate the help. If you learn anything of note, please leave a message at the station, all right? Got it? I suppose we should see about lifting the curse of the raging waves, then. Let's get in touch with Detective Ida first. We can find Wakamura after that and see if we can't get him to cooperate.
Understood. Let's be on our way then.
What we got here? Point of contact. Okay, that seems like a reasonable place to go next. From Unko Kodono to the Curse of the Raging Waves, Sato and Tsukasa run around the island searching for answers to the mountain of problems before them. Let's think back to what has happened. After calming down Tsukasa, who had the wrong idea after seeing me with Shatara... Oh, this is her.
After calming down Tsukasu, had the wrong idea after seeing me with Shotaro by the beach. I explained to the Kantakisho ruins that I was immortal and that Mr. Wakamura was planning to hand me over to someone called Unka Kodono. The two of us searched for a way to stop the chaos of the Raven's raging waves. We also stopped by the Wakamura home to apologize to Shotaro, but no one was there. After that, we met with Tsuyu, and I learned about who Mare Minakuchi truly was, as well as how the chaos of the raging waves has been kept at bay by the bronze mirror she left behind. We also ran into Azami. He looked desperate, saying that Gameshi Maru and mirrors that Gikoko had given me was dangerous, and he was going around collecting them. Tsukasa and I handed over ours over to him too. Then after that...
Alright. So we're kind of on the alternative branch line now, aren't we? Where, you know, Kikuku's out the way, the curse hasn't happened, so presumably people aren't panicking that Sato came back to life. Can't find Mr. Wakamura anywhere. Oh, that's not right. Hang on. Can't find Mr. Wakamura anywhere. We need to tell him about the bronze mirror as soon as possible.
We... Oh. Is those two...
Oh yeah, they're the ones that were looking for the old man's place.
Excuse me. Oh, if it isn't Sato, good timing. I've got something to discuss, if you don't mind. Oh, all right. I actually have something to ask myself.
Since when did you get to know each other?
All right. Well, we actually talked a bit after the last time we met. These two are from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. They're here to lift the curse of the raging waves.
Wait, seriously? Since when does the police deal in curses?
We're a special unit dedicated to things like this. I hope we can be of help.
Alright, so we are Sato. Let's have a quick look around for the old mockingbird, shall we? We've got that helpful spirit sense anymore. Is that... Ah! I knew there would be one. I mean, I'm not going to get them all, but yeah, we definitely got a few. Alright.
Mind if I start from my side, then? Oh, not at all. Good news is, we figured out how to lift the curse of the raging waves.
Really? You have? Whoa, seriously? That's huge.
Bad news is we need a few things to do it. We're in the middle of tracking them down.
Oh, if that's the case, let us help you. Yeah, what do we need?
Well, the first is called the Still-Tide Mirror. A mirror used to hold back the curse of the raging waves.
We know where that is, or at least I think we do.
You do?
We just heard about it from Tsuyu Minakuchi.
I see. 5 years ago, Mari Minakuchi tried to break the curse of that mirror, but failed. It explains why people blamed her for the Southern Sea disaster.
If that mirror from back then is still here, then it is very likely to be the Still-Tide Mirror.
Oui, that was what I wanted to talk to you about, too. I see. Thank you. It sounds like pieces are coming together. There is still one more piece we need, a descendant of the Taishima people. Which likely means Mari Minakuchi's son, Yuzo Minakuchi, would be our best candidate.
Hey, that should work.
Do you know where he is now?
I'm not sure. We've been looking too since we wanted to pass along what Tsuyu told us.
All right, we'll go search for him. Really, that would be a huge help. We'll go and secure the mirror.
Time is tight. If we split up, we'll need a point of contact in case we can't find each other. Could one of you stay in one place and handle communications between us?
Good plan. Could one of you take that on? Point of contact, it'd be best if it was...
Alright, well, I guess it's her.
I'll do it.
Oh, really? Thanks, Sato. Where should we make the meeting spot? How about the community hall on Church Street? There's also a phone there we could use.
Got it. I'll be waiting there, so call us if anything comes up. Oh, thank you. That will be a big help. Alright then, we'll retrieve the bronze mirror first, and then track down Yuzo Minakuchi, and work on lifting the curse.
Okay then, Sato. Good luck. If I find Yuzo, I'll pass along what Tsuyu told us.
Please do. I'll be waiting here if you need anything.
So someone said that Sato might be the same person who was in Paranormasight 1, but I don't think that can be the case, can it? I think maybe that they share a name, Sato. But clearly this girl only woke up like 3 months ago, so she wasn't around a year ago in Tokyo. At that point, she'd still have been asleep under the sea, wouldn't she? So we still have something here. I think there was that blanked out choice, wasn't there, that I couldn't choose, which presumably was to ask Sukasa to be the point of contact. So at some point we probably have to go back into these and maybe take alternate routes and see where they end up. But for now, let's keep going to the sanctuary. I think we're kind of all caught up in what's going on at the moment.
Ah, there you are. You're Yuzo Minakuchi, correct?
Oh, that's me. They've got quite similar voices, so I apologise in advance for that.
Oh, that's me. I was told to come here, so here I am. Huh? Were you sent here too, Azami?
Who, me? Nah, I was just passing by when I heard about what was going on, so I decided to wait here for you.
Oh, thanks, Azami. So as I understand it, you're the two brave police officers who were sent out here from Tokyo. To deal with the curse of the raging waves? Brave? Oh, I wouldn't go that far. My name is Yumiko Shiki, and this is Sodo Kiryu.
Pleased to meet you.
Am I mistaken, or did the two of you visit Kamishima yesterday as well? It almost seemed as if you ran away at the sight of me. Did I do something to scare you off? Dear me, you noticed us, did you? My apologies. I will explain everything shortly. Ah, but best, before I forget, that fellow over there has business with you as well, Yuza.
Huh?
Mr. Wakamura. He was fairly suspicious of us at first, but it seems we have finally earned his trust. He has kindly agreed to assist us in putting an end to the curse of the raging waves. Wait, really? Really, but please tell me, is it true you're already familiar with this curse? That's what your friend here told us. Yeah, more or less. Good, then it seems we're all up to speed.
No. Okay, let's have a quick look for the old boydies. Don't see anything. Alright, should we talk to Yumiko?
To be frank, I have a favour I'd like to ask of you as soon as possible. But I understand you must have questions, so we'll come back to that later. For now, ask me whatever you'd like. It sounds like we weren't the only ones looking into the curse of the raging waves. Above all, hearing what Gran revealed came as a huge shock, especially to me. I think Mom was a descendant of the survivor of Teishima, and that 5 years ago she tried to break the curse but failed. I guess I finally understand why Gran just sat back and took all the abuse from the other islanders leveled at us. I tried. Should we talk to Wakamura?
So, you found out about the curse of the raging waves then, eh, boy?
Yeah, to an extent anyway.
I always figured your mother was behind it, and that she was descended from them raiders, but...
Wait, really? That's why you blamed my mum for the disaster? You had it all wrong. Turns out she's a descendant of the Taishima Islanders, the victims.
Seems you know more than you're letting on.
Oh, no, that's just what Gran said.
So you knew about this too, eh? Suppose I should have known. But see here, your mother tried to end the curse 5 years ago and failed, didn't she? If that's what brought on the disaster, I wasn't so far off after all, was I? But be that as it may, I still owe you an apology for pinning the curse on your mother all this time. Especially seeing as she was the one who found that bronze mirror and held the curse back for us. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Good on you, Mr. Wakamura. At least you can admit when you made a mistake.
Well, when your own instructor comes along and tells you to change your views, what choice do you have?
Instructor, are you talking about that sorcerer friend of yours?
That's right. We discovered the sorcerer's identity. From there, it wasn't too difficult to reach an understanding.
That's how we earned this fellow's cooperation as well.
Seems I misjudged you. If my instructor says you're the real deal, then I reckon you must be.
Is the instructor the dog? Like the Itensei? Whatever his name is, Shiki? Maybe.
Just to be sure now. You do have a way to end this curse, the raging waves, yeah? I can trust you on that?
Yes, there are still a few points we need to confirm, but it is guaranteed to work.
Well, if that's true, then I suppose I won't be needing Uncle Kadano's help anymore.
Uncle Kadono? You mean to say that Yamashina has known of a way to break the curse all along?
Well, you know about Uncle Kadano too, eh? As a matter of fact, just yesterday, he told me out of the blue he'd found a way to end it. Said he'd tell me what it was on the condition I brought him Sato Shiranami.
Information he got from Ikoma, I have no doubt. And he asked for the girl, I see. And you were prepared to hand her over? Isn't she a relative of yours?
Huh. So what if I was? It's got nothing to do with you.
If you say so. In any case, the information Yamashina had for you must be the same as what we have to share. So there's no longer any need for you to betray your own kin.
I'll hold you to that. All the same, I'm not sure.
Is something else troubling you?
According to you, when Maro Minakuchi failed to break the curse, it brought on the disaster 5 years ago, but is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
Well, if that still-tide mirror worked as it should, there wouldn't have been no disaster, would they? That only leaves one possibility, don't it? That the Raging Waves curse bearer was stirring up trouble.
A curse bearer, I assume you mean a descendant of the Raiders of Taishima.
Exactly. If someone of that lineage got anywhere near the Southern Sea, the wrath of the Taishima would churn up those waters into a maelstrom. Anyhow, my instructor swears that's the true cause of the disaster 5 years ago, and I'm inclined to agree.
So that's your theory, is it? Now I understand why you suspected Mari Minakuchi's heritage. Though I gather this instructor of yours never actually accused her of being the curse bearer.
True. Never was sure on that point. Said we couldn't be certain given it how it had been 5 years and all. But with all things considered, who could blame me for being suspicious of her? No one knew where she came from.
I don't wish to doubt your instructor, but I'm not sure how much water this theory holds.
Yet we cannot rule it out entirely, given what we know of this sorcerer's powers. So you're skeptical, eh? Not as if you got a better idea, though, is it?
Well, you do have a point. The issue remains, if Mari wasn't the curse bearer, who else could it have been?
Well, can't say I figured that out yet, but,
Sorry to interrupt, but I have something to say. Yes? Assuming my mum was the Raging Waves curse bearer, I have a theory. Well, it wasn't the curse bearer. See, I've read over the reports of the incident again and again, and there's something I noticed. Oh, and what might that be? Well,
I don't know.
There's another possible cause. Namely, the mirror. It wasn't... What if the still-tide mirror was cursed all along? Could it be? I do remember getting that sense from it.
Certainly not. I have already examined the mirror firsthand. There is no curse upon it.
Right, guess I got carried away. That's not what I meant to say. There's something else I realized after reading reports. Yes, I'm all ears. Well...
What if we go another suspect?
That person was on board...
Oh god, okay. I'm going to have to look at the disaster and remember what all those were. So... Three fishing boats went out. Not a single body was discovered. The sole survivor was User, as we know. The Daiichi was a fishing boat. Yeah, so Nishikawa took out an unknown passenger. So I'm going to say Ome Maru.
I remember reading the identity of one of the passengers aboard the Ome Maru was unknown. Couldn't they have been the curse bearer? Interesting. Well, Mr. Wakamura, what do you know of this mysterious individual?
The Ome Maru. Oh, that was Yukiji Nishikawa's boat. As I recall, according to the departure declaration, the Ome Maru had taken someone on board, someone in business on the mainland who had research to do. But as no name was given, no one had a clue who they were.
Oh, I thought the point of these declarations was to keep a record in case of an accident. Sounds to me like someone was careless.
Well, I can't deny that.
So this passenger was never identified?
Nah, but mind you, eyewitness reports say that when the Ome Maru set sail that day, the captain was alone on board. So maybe he picked them up from the mainland, or maybe they never boarded to begin with, who's to say?
Do you think it's possible this person could have been the curse bearer?
Ah, it could be if it wasn't Mari. Make for a hell of a coincidence, though.
Unfortunately, since this Nishikawa fellow isn't around, there's no way to find out.
Well, I've already apologised, so I can't say much concerns me anymore. All I care about now is putting an end to the curse of the raging waves.
Oops. The rays of sunlight beaming down amidst this stifling humidity are accompanied by a chorus of cicadas that somehow intensifies the heat.
Soto? I have nothing further to add. I imagine this isn't easy for you, but I appreciate your cooperation.
Right. Okay, well, I'm trying to. Did we talk to Azami? It reminds me, any luck with those hand mirrors, Azami? No worries here, I got them all back, didn't I? We lost one. You must be the fastest mirror collector in Japan. I knew I could count on you. Thanks, Azami. Oh? Are you talking about the mirrors Kikuko Tsutsui was handing out earlier?
How'd you know about that?
I realised they were dangerous, so I had Azami collect them all. Really? Does that mean you figured out they were the targets of a curse? Wait, you knew about that?
So it was true. What's the deal with these things, anyway?
I see, so these curse stones can be used to kill people instantly. But since Kikuko's curse stone was confiscated, the danger's passed.
Phew, what relief.
What I want to know is how you found out that Kikuko intended to use those hand mirrors as the targets of her curse to begin with. About that. I'm not sure you'll believe me, but... What? You encountered a Tomokazuki while you were diving, and it showed you a vision? Well, that's the long and the short of it. Any idea what it means? Paranormal encounters are your area of expertise, after all.
I have known instances of phenomena capable of instilling memories. However, your experience does not seem to fit with any of them.
I wonder why the thing looked like you. That's the strangest part in my book.
Hold up, you don't think this Tomokazuki could be a kind of curse, do you? It's true that some curses are accompanied by phantoms known as curse echoes. Yet, as the apparition user encountered warned him of impending danger, it seems unlikely to have been the product of a harmful curse. That being said, I am afraid I cannot begin to guess its true nature.
Well, at least that hand mirror curse is dealt with. That's a load off our minds. Right, but we're not done yet. One calamity down, one to go. Oh yeah, guess we can't relax till the curse of the raging waves is broken too. Right, can I talk to her now? Where shall we begin? 400 years ago, an Onmyoji sealed the entrance to Ryugu in an attempt to contain the curse of the raging waves, and left behind instructions as to how the curse could be broken after 400 years had elapsed. There were 3 steps that must be followed. Just 3, huh? First, thou must unbind my seal, risen from the depths, with the iron box. Okay, well that's done. Second, thou must offer the still-tide mirror, bequeathed by the sacrifice, to the sanctuary. Third, let those who share blood with the lost souls of Taishima be the ones to offer appeasement. That should be the wording if I remember correctly. Let's consider each of the steps in turn. First is the iron box. That refers to the container in which these instructions were kept. It surfaced when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed. It stands to reason that the seal mentioned in the first step must also have appeared somewhere. What is this seal, anyway? It's the Onmyoji's own symbol, the same symbol used to seal the entrance to Ryugu. This is what it looks like. I expect we'll find a mark identical to the one on this map somewhere on the sea floor.
The marked location is likely the sanctuary mentioned in the second step. It should be in the vicinity of Gamashima.
I have to make it somewhere near the place where I went diving this morning. Oh, come to think of it, I did see a symbol like that on the seafloor. You're certain? Yeah, it was definitely the same symbol and it was covered in chains. I guess we'll need to break them. That may be what the Onmyoji meant by unbind. Sounds like the first step won't give us too much trouble, at least. On to the next, then. The second step centers around the still-tide mirror bequeathed by the sacrifice. That's got to be the mirror Mari Minakuchi found, which we have just retrieved from the shrine in the bay. What I heard, that mirror is what's been holding the curse in check all these years. That's right. Now it must be offered to the sanctuary.
The former site of the Taishima sanctuary should lie in that area. Perhaps that is the location we seek.
Well, in that case...
Yeah, the big hole. I thought that's what he was referring to in the first bit. I don't remember seeing the symbol.
I reckon the hole where I encountered the Tomokazuki is the most likely spot. After all, it only appeared a few months back. I can't think of anywhere else it could be. It does seem likely.
The only problem is there's no way through. Huh? How's that? Well, there's a powerful current in there. Going too far and it'll drag you down to the depths in an instant.
That does not strike me as a natural phenomenon. It is possible the sanctuary lies within. And perhaps one must have the still-tide mirror in hand to pass through safely.
That makes sense. And it seems the way forward is clear as fast as the first 2 steps are concerned. Right, that just leaves the third. The final instruction stipulates that a descendant of the Taishima Islanders must carry out these tasks, meaning you, user. So that's why I was called here, huh? First, I need to find the seal on the seafloor and unbind it. After that, all that's left is to take the still-tide mirror through the hole and offer it to the sanctuary. We're counting on you, user. If you pull this off, the curse of the raging waves should be broken for good.
Well, let's up to it then. I'll take you out in the boat.
Thanks, Azami. Sounds like this is a job for the patron saint of diving. Patron saint? Who are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. It's a private joke.
Well, I do hope you're taking this seriously, user. The fate of the curse rests with you. Well, don't worry, I'll get it done. Breaking curses is what living legends like me were made for. Ha! Is that so? Well, glad to hear it. But before you go, I have one last question to ask you, user.
Oh, and what would that be?
Well, how should I put this? It's a delicate subject. Mind if I have a private word? So, what do you want to talk about? Just so we're clear, if you're looking to grow pearls, I don't know anything about that. That would require delicate handling, but that's not what I meant. User, when you got caught in that disaster 5 years ago, did you by chance encounter a mermaid?
Huh?
I did, but how did you know about that? If you'd tell me the truth, that makes this easier. As for how I know, that would be because it's the only possible explanation.
Meaning?
Come now, user. Mermaid has cursed you with immortality. You're an 800-year immortal.
What?
You can't hide the truth from me. These eyes don't lie. I assume it occurred during the disaster 5 years ago. You must have nearly died. But then you were revived by a mermaid and made immortal. Surely you must have realized this by now.
Yeah. You got me. I'm an immortal boy with an undying body.
Why did this happen to you, I wonder? I wish I knew. If you can tell me more about it, would you mind filling me in? I suppose it's only fair. What would you like to know? Earlier you said a mermaid cursed me. What exactly did you mean by that? Well, just what it sounds like. For 800 years you'll be incapable of aging or dying. What is that but a curse? Your very existence defies the laws of nature. You can hardly be termed human. You're now an anomalous being, something closer to a spirit. Though for that matter, I'm in no position to talk.
Huh?
Still, I do feel sorry for you. What possessed her to curse you, a mere child, I should like to know. I always thought that mermaid saved my life. Was I wrong? Well, that depends on how you look at things. Personally, I wouldn't call what she did saving you at all. At the end of the day, she saddled you with an existence worse than death.
Is it that terrible?
It's only been 5 years. The people around you probably think you're a late bloomer. Give it another decade or two and your static appearance will start to stand out. And should you ever meet with a would-be fatal accident in public, it's all over for you. If your immortal nature is exposed, you'll be bombarded with public scrutiny at best. At worst, you'll be captured and experimented on. Either way, from that moment on, you'll never be able to lead a normal life in human society again. Humans have always coveted immortality. Countless dream of it even today. The reality is only the first few decades of your existence are bound to be enjoyable. It's only going to get harder for you as time goes on. Humans were never meant to live for hundreds of years. A lifespan that long is unendurable. And speaking as a member of law enforcement, the existence of immortal beings must be kept hidden or all sorts of problems can arise. Problems like what? Well, it's not easy to keep a lid on things these days, and it doesn't take much to incite a panic or start a war. Just last year, there was that ruckus over the right of resurrection, if you'll remember. Suffice to say, whenever I track down an 800-year immortal, I can't just leave them be.
What are you saying? You're going to arrest me?
Ordinarily, I would. Protocol dictates that I capture any 800-year immortals I find and seal them in an underground vault. That's the fate I was thinking of when I mentioned that being immortal is an existence worse than death.
Ah!
Don't worry, I've got no intention of taking you anywhere just yet. You're a special case. The way I see it, you're essentially the victim here.
Not to mention, I need your help breaking the curse of the raging waves. So, it seems like we'll have to find a way to compromise. I don't know why, but you're looking for more information about mermaids as well, right? I was wondering, does me being immortal have anything to do with my mum? I mean, is there any chance she could have been a mermaid?
None whatsoever.
Oh. In all likelihood, you received your immortality from the mermaid Sobe. You see, Mare Minakuchi was a descendant of the clan that was tasked with escorting Sobe back to Ryugu. That much I'm certain of. Is that why she tried to break the curse of the raging waves 5 years ago? I can only assume so. However, as the seal over the entrance to Ryugu had yet to break, things didn't go as planned.
Does this mean Sobe could still be nearby? Maybe she's living in the sea around Kamishima.
I'm afraid there's little chance of that. See, when the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed 3 months ago, Sobe would have been able to return home.
Oh, well, I guess that means Mum's duty was fulfilled in the end. That's something at least. You know of any way I could meet this mermaid?
You don't give up easily, huh? Are you another mermaid fan?
Another fan?
Those foreigners who visited the island recently were also very keen on meeting a mermaid.
Oh, you mean that author and his young guide?
Sure do. You've spoken with them, I take it.
Actually, no, I never met them. But I saw them when I had that vision.
Oh, is that so? Well, all I can tell you is the same thing I told them. Meeting a mermaid is no longer possible.
Does that mean there's no way to visit Ryugu either?
The thing is, Ryugu is pretty close to what's typically referred to as the afterlife. You might say it's the space between our world and the land of the dead.
And there's no way to travel there, none at all?
Sorry, no, you'll just have to accept that.
And there's no... Oh.
Well, for starters, mermaids aren't meant to interfere in the lives of mortals. Even their kind don't approve of that.
Really?
In fact, generally speaking, creating an 800-year immortal is flat out forbidden. Despite that, Sobe made you immortal. In other words, this mermaid went out of her way to place a curse on you.
Well, I guess that settles it. Her intent wasn't to save me after all.
Exactly. I was hoping you'd be able to tell me what made her go that far, but it turns out you're just as clueless as I am.
Yeah.
Then all we know for sure is that something happened between Sobe and your mother that day, and that led to you being made immortal. Whether that was simply to save your life or for some other reason, there's unfortunately no way of knowing.
There's something else that's been bugging me. Can mermaids create 800-year immortals at will, as in you don't really have to eat their flesh?
Actually, you do. You can't become immortal without ingesting a bit of mermaid flesh, even if it is a tiny piece. However, it's not as simple as cutting off a slice. Mermaid flesh withers away the moment it's severed and loses all its efficacy. In order for a mermaid to create an immortal of her own volition, she would have to allow a human to bite her directly.
How could that happen without the human's consent? I mean, I was barely conscious when I became an undead boy. I mean, an 800-year immortal.
Like I said, even the tiniest piece, a mere scrap of their tail would do the trick. You could move someone's jaw while they were unconscious and get them to bite. It's not impossible.
Damn, I guess it was a lot more forceful than I was imagining. So all you have to do is bite a living mermaid and you become immortal.
Pretty much, though I assume few mermaids would consent to that.
Oh, so that's how it works. But if the flesh has been severed, ingesting it wouldn't extend your lifespan at all, huh?
That's right, ordinarily anyway.
Ordinarily, you mean there's an exception?
If a mermaid's flesh is cut within the confines of Ryugu, it won't wither away, it just grows back.
Oh. Well, I've got you here. I guess I might as well ask. Is there no way to reverse immortality?
You wouldn't be the first 800-year immortal to seek that possibility. But unfortunately the answer is no. The moment you become immortal, you lose your mortal form for good.
I see. And is there no way for an 800-year immortal to die other than waiting for their lifespan to end?
No, it is simply impossible. That is what makes it a curse.
Not that I want to experiment, but what would happen if, say, I threw my body into a furnace or a vat of acid?
The instant it resulted in death, you would begin to reform, starting from the part of you with the largest remaining piece of your heart. Every other piece of you would then vanish. No matter how beyond repair your body becomes, it will be healed when you resurrect.
I see.
On the other hand, you won't be healed if your injuries aren't fatal, no matter how badly hurt you are. For example, taking the furnace scenario you just mentioned. If your body remained in the furnace after you resurrected, you would burn to death again, then revive again, and so on in an endless cycle. all while fully conscious.
Shit, sounds like hell.
My advice, be very careful not to fall into any bottomless pits.
Right, well, I'll be sure to keep that in mind if I ever go near one. By the way, you mentioned I'd resurrect from the part around my heart. Does that mean that if my head was cut off, only my body would regenerate?
Well, yes, that should be the case.
What would happen to my consciousness, my memories, my thoughts? All of that stored in the brain, isn't it?
That's a tough one. As I mentioned, every part of you except the one that resurrects will vanish. So it seems likely that everything inside your head, including your consciousness, would vanish too.
That can happen. Does that mean my regenerated body would have an entirely new consciousness?
Well, it seems 800-year immortals do sometimes have fuzzy memories after they resurrect. But I've never known anyone who tried what you're describing. It's possible your consciousness would be reinstated, carried over just as before. Though it's equally possible that it would be divided or become a new entity. There's no way to know unless you decide to test it yourself.
Divided, huh?
Look, I wish I could make this easier on you, but there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Still, so long as you stay put on this island and keep a low profile, I'm prepared to leave you be. You've managed to keep your immortality a secret for 5 years now, after all.
Thank you. I swear I'll do everything in my power not to get found out, so please don't arrest me.
I'm curious, what were you intending to do if you found a way to meet Sobai?
Honestly, at first I just wanted to thank her for saving me, but after what you've just told me, that's changed.
How so?
Well, now I'm more curious to hear about why she decided to make me an 800-year immortal. About what happened with my mum that day.
Can't say I blame you. And I understand where you're coming from, but it just can't be done.
Even if you can't meet her, is there some way I could learn the truth?
Well, you can't ask her directly or communicate with her in any way. But you know, I heard you have no memory of the incident 5 years ago. Is that true?
No? Well, yeah, the doctors reckon it's because of the shock.
Even my memories of meeting a mermaid are really hazy. And isn't it possible Sobe told you something that day? So the memory of what you heard must be buried in the depths of your subconscious. I can find a way to remember it, but I wouldn't even know how to start. Where would I find my memory of a mermaid? I don't know. The only piece of advice I have for you is to think back. Delve into your memories and scour them from corner to corner.
Think
about it. You must have encountered Sobe before. All you need to do is locate your memory of that time. All right then. We'd better head back or your friend will start to wonder what's happened to you.
Right, well, thanks for answering my questions. Welcome back. Everything okay, user?
Of course. If it wasn't, I'd have had to make a dramatic entrance.
Glad to see you your usual oddball self.
This is nothing to worry about then. Well, I dare say that covers everything we needed to discuss. It's time the two of you were on your way. That curse won't break itself.
Go on, user. Future of Kamashima's riding on you.
Right, I'll do everything I can.
Minakuchi, but, user, if you end this curse, I'll see to it that the rumours about you go away, that you're hailed as the hero of Kamishima. So get it done.
You hear that, user? This is a chance to clear your name for good.
Sounds like a fair deal. You can count on me, Mr. Wakamura.
Oh, he's going. Ready to roll, user? You got that bronze mirror with you?
Yep, I've got it right here, ready when you are.
Guess you better start by finding this seal that needs to be unbound or whatever.
Right, well I shouldn't have too much trouble finding it again. It's somewhere near the hole I found last time.
Good luck, user. I'll be waiting right here. Alright, well, if I go to the story chart... Any incomplete chapters must be restarted from the beginning. This was worrying me. Because I was going to leave it here for now. Hang on. It's over an hour. I think I've got to leave it here, and if for any reason it doesn't save my progress, I'll just, before I start recording the next one, I'll just click through everything again. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. It feels like things are kind of building towards a conclusion now. But if I go back to the story chart... I'll do that another time. But I was thinking, there's still stuff there clearly to do. And I think there's different endings. So, you know, we're going towards one ending now. We've had the Kamishima is destroyed ending. The bad ending. We're heading towards another ending now. But I wouldn't be surprised if post this there's others to shoot for. Like he mentioned, he was talking about the head cut-off thing, and obviously he got beheaded in one of those chapters. I'm wondering if we can pursue that course further, like maybe he regenerates and I don't know, maybe something happens there that leads to a different conclusion. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Hopefully you are too, and hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. And if you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be awesome. Do leave a comment as well along the lines I've been discussing here. Let me know your thoughts as we go. And thanks as well to my channel members. Very appreciated how you guys are supporting the channel. And if other people are interested in checking out memberships and gaining earlier access to my videos, that'd be awesome. But thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.